Hey everyone, Tim and Dartman back with my Week 9 NFL picks. So how are we doing after 8 weeks? Well, 80 and 40. So 2/3 correct, 66%. I think we'll take that every day. We'd like to improve it this week. This week we have 14 games. And a little fun fact for you. I have at least, I haven't counted them up, but at least 6 Thursday night football games that I have picked incorrectly out of 8 weeks. So not doing real well on Thursday night football, but doing pretty well on the rest of it. So let's start it off. We'll throw some darts and we'll talk some football. Who's going to win? All right, so the first game, Ravens against the Dolphins. So what do I have to say about this? Well, the Ravens actually do have Lamar this week, and they played all right last week. You can tell they haven't warmed up yet. They played all right last week, but the Dolphins played unexpectedly really great last week. And so it's a little tricky, right? Lamar back. Are the Ravens back? Are they really, back for sure? Or is Lamar rusty and the Dolphins are actually back and they're going to take one away from the Ravens? So here's what I think. I think Lamar's back. He's such a great player. I think he's going to make a difference for the Ravens. And even though the Ravens are going to be in Miami, I'm going to pick the Ravens for this one. I'm going to say 31-20 Ravens over the Dolphins. Keep my fingers crossed on this Thursday nighter. So the next game is going to be the 49ers at the Giants. So this is interesting because the 49ers are on again, off again this year, whether they're halfway decent or whether they're not. And the Giants have had some really surprising games this year. I mean, some games that I thought they were going to win, right? And, I think what's going to happen this week, though, is I think you're going to see the Giants finally take that one that maybe most people figure they're not going to. I'm going to go with the Giants this week. I'm going to say 28-24, Giants over the 49ers. That's my upset of the week right there. So let's see if it comes true. I'm hoping it will. Next game is going to be the Chargers at the Titans. So the Chargers, they got a good football team. They really do. But they are really inconsistent, I think, in the way they play. And so, they're going to be playing the Titans. Titans are not playing good football at all, really. But I think the Chargers will take this one. I think we're looking at 28-14, Chargers over the Titans. And I think the Titans would really have to step up to make this one competitive. But we'll see. Next game is going to be the Vikings at the Lions. And this will be an interesting game because the Vikings are also playing good football, but they've lost their quarterback. So I think that will really make the difference for them this week, is that the Vikings have lost their quarterback, and I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the Lions. But what will be interesting is, how much will the Lions win by, right? So I'm thinking it'll be closer than most experts will pick. I'm going to go 21-17 Lions over the Vikings. Next game, Falcons at the Patriots. So here's the deal, right? Everyone's really excited about the Patriots this year, as am I. Being from New England originally, love the Patriots. And they're playing some really good football this year. They really are. But here's the thing. I wanted that last one in. 125 though. Here's the thing. The Falcons have played some really great football this year. They really have. And they've played some really crappy football. So they're very inconsistent. So I think with that inconsistency going into New England, I don't have much hope for the Falcons taking this one. So I'm going to go with the Patriots 28, Falcons 14. That number keeps reappearing. But anyways, that's what I got for a score in this game. Next game, Colts at the Steelers. Interesting, right? The Colts, I don't think I picked them a lot. And they're probably one of the teams that, has caused me a lot of issues in my picking this year. But I think it's a nice time. I think that the Colts are going to take this one. However, I do hear some experts picking the Steelers, right? Because the Steelers are at home. Aaron Rodgers, on again, off again. He's not, the Aaron Rodgers of old. If he was, I would pick the Steelers all day long. But I think I got to go with the Colts this year, and I think it's going to be Colts 24, Steelers 17. The next game, the Broncos at the Texans. Okay, so the Broncos is another team that I seem to pick wrong. I don't know why. It's like I don't trust them or something, even though they're playing, very good football. And that's not good. So I do think, though, that the Texans are playing better football, and the Broncos are going into Houston to play the Texans. So I'm going to go with the Texans. I'm going to go Texans 23, Broncos 20. Let's see what happens. And then we have the Bears, right? Bears at the Bengals. So the Bears, again, very inconsistent. Bengals, don't have their quarterback. They've got a decent replacement quarterback. But, you could go either way on this. There's a few games this week that you could just go either way on, right? And I think what's going to happen here is, you got to kind of go with the Bears over the Bengals. Even though they're playing, in Cincinnati, I just think the Bears are a little bit too much for the Bengals this year, right? So I'm going to go Bears 27, Bengals 14. Panthers at the Packers is the next game. And, the Packers are playing great football. The Panthers are just not that great of a football team. They need help. They do. They're going to be playing in Lambeau, the Packers' home field, and tough place to play, even if you're a good team. It would take a major amount of mistakes on behalf of the Packers for them to lose this game. Therefore, I'm going to go with this Packers 28, Panthers 14. There's that 28-14 again. We'll see what happens. Afternoon game. First one is going to be the Saints at the Rams. Now, I am not a Rams believer. I really am not. I think once the playoffs come around, you'll see the Rams go out in the first round. And that's just the way it is. They're not as good as their record is. They're really not. So, that being said, the Saints are terrible. Absolutely terrible. And you can't help, the Rams can't help but win this game. 31-10, Rams over the Saints. Next game, Jaguars at the Raiders. Now, this is going to be a game that the Jaguars actually need, right? To boost their confidence, get them back on track. Unfortunately, the Raiders just don't have it this year. They just don't. They're not a team that has been built up yet from their downfall. And I think in a couple of years, you're going to see the Raiders up there. So, next year you'll see some improvement. The year after that, I'm looking for them to be very competitive, but not yet. So we got Jaguars 25, Raiders 10. Not 28-14, right? Next game is going to be the Chiefs at the Bills. Oh, the Chiefs at the Bills. What can we say about this, right? Neither team, right, has a record that you would expect at this point in the season. And I think, Mahomes has been playing okay lately, and he doesn't have enough, I don't think, to go, into Buffalo and beat the Bills, right? So I think what's going to happen is the Bills are going to take this. It's going to be a score of 35-28, really high-scoring game. And my prediction on this one is that the difference is going to be the turnover battle. I think that Kansas City will not create, but will have more turnovers than Buffalo does, and that would be the difference in the game. Next game is going to be the Seahawks at the Commanders. So, the Seahawks, they do have a great team, and they're expected to go, into Washington and beat the Commanders relatively easily, and I think that's what's going to happen. Commanders have really kind of gone down this year, right? Last year they had a pretty good team, playoffs. I think they had a playoff win, maybe 2 playoff wins. I don't remember, but they had a much better team last year than they do this year. So I'm saying Seahawks are going to go into Washington, going to be 28-17 over the Commanders. And then the last game is going to be the Monday night game, and it's going to be the Cardinals at the Cowboys. Now, Cowboys, right? Again, another team that plays good football, bad football, good football, bad football, and very inconsistent. So I don't know why. I really don't. But they're going to need to start playing more consistent, good football. And they need to if they want to, make the playoffs and then do anything in the playoffs. But, when they're on, they're a really good football team, right? And let's see if they'll be on this week. They're usually better on, those Monday night games. So I'm going to go Cowboys 27, Cardinals 21, and say that the Cowboys will have enough to win at home over the Cardinals, and let's see what happens. So again, 80-40 after 8 weeks. After the 9th week, here will be halfway through the season. So every team plays 17 games, plus has a bye week, right? So it's 18 weeks. So after this week 9, we'll be halfway through the season. Let's see what our score is. Tim the Dartman, leave in the comments if I really messed any predictions up. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.